All right, now that we have a project set up, let's see what this thing looks like in action. Yes, you're going to see your very first homepage for your website. And you're thinking, I haven't written a line of code yet. Well, Django kind of gets you started here. And what we need to do is fire up the Django server. So what we're going to do is here in our terminal, we need to get into the folder or directory we just created. So for example, I'm going to say cd space and then password. And if I hit tab, it auto completes for me the password _ generator. So I'll hit enter. I'm going to do an ls, make sure that I'm in the right spot. You should see something that says manage.py. And if you have this, I'm going to type out Python 3, for you it might just be Python, manage.py, and then all one word, run server, okay? So if I go ahead and hit enter on this, you're going to see a big block of text show up. It's going to say something about migrations, but you should see something here that has a link to a specific URL. So this http:/8000 thing, go ahead and copy this and then open up any browser that you want. I'm going to be using Chrome, and go ahead and paste this puppy in, hit enter. Look at that. You see this little rocket ship here? This means that we made it. We blasted off. We have our very first page showing up. And you can see this is just kind of a default thing built by Django. This is, as it says, the install works successfully. Congratulations. This is sort of the test thing to say, oh, okay, my project is working here, okay? Now, there's a couple of things that I want to go through here. The first one is that this site will only be accessible when you're running the server. If we go back to our terminal and you hit Control-C, this will stop the terminal. You can see it's gone back and we can, enter in things now. And after I've stopped the server, if I reload this web page, nothing shows up. There's nothing there. I have to have the server running. If I hit the up arrow, it gives me my last command, hit enter. Now the server's running again. If I reload the page, well, boom, all of a sudden this is showing again. So anytime you want to test out your website, you have to make sure that your server is running. Then along with this, you might be thinking, what is this magical, 127.0? What is this all about? Well, on your computer, 127.0.0.1 is a magical sort of number that means look to my own computer for the website. You can alternatively, rather than typing that out, you can just say localhost :8000, and it will do the exact same thing. 127.001, that is the same thing as localhost. One and the same. You can switch them out. And you may be saying, what's this :8000? That's what's called the port number. Now, every website technically runs on a specific port. The default one is 80. The thing is, most web browsers won't show it to you. So for example, if I go to google.com, this is technically running on port 80, but it won't show that here in the URL bar. And in fact, Chrome is a little bit weird. If I try and say :80 on this, it's not going to show me. But for example, if I pull up Safari and I go to google.com :80, it does show me the Google website. And you'll notice if I change the port number here, if I say like 81, for example, it's going to get stuck here and it's not going to go to anything. So the reason that this is running on port 8000, that's just kind of the default thing that the Django people have decided that it's going to be at localhost port 8000. The reason that there's different port numbers is maybe you're building a website with Django and maybe another website with Flask. You might have multiple things running on your local host at different ports, but that's what that's all about. So I just want you to know when you see localhost or the 127 and what this :8000 is, I just want you to have a better grasp of what's going on there. Okay, so with that in place, you've kind of got a basic understanding of how the server works. Let's go ahead and talk in the next lecture about this whole file structure that just showed up, right? Like we have this folder with all these different files now. Let's talk about what those are.